I am Melissa Zell from Tri-County Golf Ranch.
I'm Larry King.
And we are the owners here in Springdale, Ohio. And Larry, we get a lot of questions about how lessons work. And I feel like that's a really open-ended question. Because in our opinion, you have to practice to make lessons work. But there's other logistical things going on there. So a lot of people don't understand what a PGA Golf Professional is.
It's not Potato Growers of America.
It's not?
No, PGA, not Potato Growers of America. It's not.
Okay. So how did you become a PGA Golf Professional?
Oh my gosh, it's a pretty long story. I'll try to keep it short. I was in the ironworker business, welding and doing all kinds of crazy stuff, way up in the air, all kinds of stuff. And a couple of my buddies that I went to school with were in Naples, Florida. I went down to visit them, and they needed help in a cart barn, so I kind of helped out. Next thing you know, I got in the golf business.
Oh.
I asked a lot of questions on how to get started, and I had to go to schooling.
Yeah.
It took me about 3 years to get through the schooling at the time when I was doing it. I had to pass a playability test, and then you go through all the schoolwork. You had to work 40 or 50 hours a week under a golf professional, a PGA Golf Professional, a member, and then I had to go through schooling and then take a book test and take another test and write a few things, and then they basically vote on you to see if they want you in the business or not.
They voted on you?
They did. I'll never forget it. They voted on me.
And they wanted you?
Yeah. Yes, believe it or not, they had to vote on me. The board at the time, I think there was 8 in the room.
Really?
And they did a yay or nay, and that's how I got in. After I passed all my tests, they had to.
They obviously didn't know you.
Oh, I know. Even though, you know what's so cool? I was president of our PGA for a little bit.
Yeah.
And I tried to make some changes, but boy, they're stubborn sometimes. I gotta have some fun with it.
So my path was a little different than yours. I didn't get voted on, but a lot of people assume that I'm an LPGA member just because I'm female, but I'm not. I'm a PGA Golf Professional. But again, I passed my playability test, and then it took me about 18 months to get through the schoolwork. So it was about a 2-year process from start to finish.
It's almost like an associate's degree from college.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So we have students ask, how do lessons work? Well, you and I teach about 5 days a week, sometimes 7, which we really don't want to do. And the reason for that is we're trying to give the best quality lesson that we can give.
Right.
And we only try to give 6 lessons a day.
Yeah.
That keeps us fresh, because for us, we put everything we have into trying to make that student have fun, get better, improve, reach their goals. And it can be very tiring on us. So lessons are half an hour long, and the reason for that is by 20 minutes, most people can't handle any more information.
That's right.
Brain is overloaded. So our lessons are kept at a half an hour. We'll often stretch or do exercises or drills before the lesson starts, or beginning of the lesson, or even afterwards sometimes. But our whole job is to work on the entire golfer, to try to mentally, physically, emotionally get you in a place to have a great time.
Right.
Enjoy yourself. Reach your goals, whether you want to play high school or college golf, or just not look silly at your golf league. That's a big one that I hear.
Yeah.
I don't want to be embarrassed when I go out and play with
my buddies,
my coworkers, or in my golf league.
Or the outing they got to go to, or whatever. Yeah.
Absolutely. So we do offer a single lesson for $75. We don't like giving a single golf lesson. We don't enjoy giving band-aids or quick fixes. It's not who we are. We can't build a new golfer in one lesson.
It's pretty hard.
It's pretty hard. So we do offer a series of 5 lessons, which is a great kind of intro, or you can kind of focus on, a couple different areas. We can work on full swing, short game, get them out on the golf course management type stuff. A series of 5 lessons would be $225. Again, those are all half an hours, and we schedule them according to everybody's schedule, a mutual schedule. And then we have a 3-month, a 6-month, and a 12-month lesson series, and that's where we find the biggest changes are made.
We see the biggest jumps there.
Yep, absolutely. So we can work on all aspects of the game. We get a lot of time on the golf course. And even if the weather's crummy, even if you choose to take lessons during the winter,
which is the best time to do that?
Best time to make changes, because you're not worried about score.
Right.
So we can work out in our workout room. We've got drills and stuff we can do in the mirrors, and we also have a heated and covered driving range. So we can pretty much practice in almost any condition.
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Our 3-month is $325. Our 6-month is $600, and then our 12-month actually includes a driving range membership. We're basically giving you an excuse to practice, to get better.
That's exactly
because
right.
That's your job in all of this. So the 12-month is $1,200, and again, it includes that driving range membership.
Right.
So basically, the process is you call us, and we look at our book, and we try to find a great time that works for both of us, and a time where we're available and we're not exhausted from giving 15 different lessons that day. And then we meet and we work on some things, and we agree on the next time that we want to get together. Sometimes it's a week, sometimes it's 10 days or 2 weeks, but the idea is the student needs to practice 2, 3, 4 times before we see them again.
Right.
That way, muscle memory kind of kicks in, they're learning new skills, they're changing their habits, and now we can create, the golf of their dreams.
That's exactly right. I like that. That's
You like
exactly right. Yeah. How much do you practice, Melissa?
I practice every day.
What do you practice on?
So, a lot of my practice right now is mental, emotional, but I do it while I'm hitting golf balls or chipping and putting, or we'll go play a few holes. It doesn't have to be a lot. If you have a day that's just kind of crammed full of things, you can practice in the mirror for 5 minutes, and that's a good practice.
Right.
But you don't have to hit 300 balls a day. You don't have to be in front of TrackMan for 3 hours a day to consider it a good practice.
It's funny that you said 300 balls. Maybe a long time ago, when the equipment wasn't as good as it is now, guys had to hit a lot of range balls to kind of get things timed up. And I hate to use the word timing, but they had to. The equipment is so good now. There's not many guys out there right now pounding 300 balls a day on the PGA Tour. I'm not saying they haven't done that. I'm just saying they practice in a different way. They practice.
An hour here doing.
Yeah, they might chip and putt for an hour or two. They'll play 9 holes. Then they'll come back and maybe hit 100 balls. Then they might chip and putt for another hour. But they just don't stand there and beat ball after ball after ball after ball. A long time ago they used to. And maybe when Tiger Woods was in his younger days, he probably hit a lot of balls, but I don't think he just sat there and hit 300 balls at a time. I kind of believe what Nicklaus did. He used to hit 60 balls, and it took him an hour to hit 60 balls. So if you think about that, it's basically a minute. It took a lot of practice swings.
Right, so if you only have 20 minutes to practice, you're only hitting 20 balls.
That's
We're
exactly
not
right.
hitting 80, 100 golf balls.
That's right. And you can get more out of the practice on taking practice swings and doing isometrics or hitting into an impact bag, which we can show you guys how to do. But yeah, maybe a long time ago when they're in high school and college, they beat a lot of balls, but probably not that many at a setting.
Right, absolutely. And it's just understanding how the body learns. The body learns in slow movements.
Yes,
it learns by watching itself. So mirror work is super important. Video is really cool, but the motion's already happened. You've already felt it. But it's nice to actually, watch your video and visualize kind of the changes you want to make. But that's where mirror work, slow mirror work, is where the muscles are really muscles in the brain. You're actually grooving new habits in your brain when you practice the right way.
The brain sees it. It can duplicate it.
Absolutely. So, if you have any other questions on how our lessons work, please give us a call or shoot us an email or just come on and stop over and see us.
I'd love that. And by the way, look down in the bottom corner of our thing.
Subscribe. Thanks.